Hey, what's up you guys? This is Rob from Guy Plays, and today on the Quick Draw, I've got a revisit that's been a long time coming, when we take a second look at the Kohm. Okay, first and foremost, I still think it sounds like Kohm. Not comb, but Kohm. It's like all these jackasses insisting on the pronunciation of Uranus as Uranus. Seriously, unclench for once in your life. It's Kohm and Uranus. That aside, as many of you know, us YouTubers flock to get our videos out on the Kohm the day after release, only to have it patched and hotfixed a few days later, at the same time that they dropped Nova Prime Access. So needless to say, the Kohm was put on the back burner. However, now that there's been a bit of breathing room, we can take a quick look at what could possibly be one of the hardest hitting non-prime primaries in recent release. So you can pick up the Kohm's blueprint in the market for 20,000 credits. Just be aware that it costs Oxium, Cryotic, and Argon to craft. Now, while none of those are too difficult to pick up nowadays, their acquisition can be a tad bit annoying. So if you've got some plat burning a hole in your pocket, you can always pick it up in the market pre-built along with a weapon slot and catalyst for 150 plat. Now, its primary damage type is slashing, with a small but decent amount of puncture and impact. This makes the Kohm fairly flexible against different factions of fleshy units. The biggest issue you'll find is going up against the armored units of the Grineer and the Corrupted. So as always, be sure to equip the appropriate elemental combos in order to deal the optimal amount of damage. Okay, so let's start with a few of its changes. Originally, the Kohm would fire a single bolt and begin to double its output until it hit a max of 10 bolts, increasing its fire rate and consuming 10 ammo per shot and doing 150 damage per burst at its max. With its recent upgrades, the Kohm now adds an additional bolt to each successive shot till it hits a max of 5 bolts, increasing its fire rate and consuming 1 to 2 ammo, dealing 385 damage when fully spooled up. So, from 10 ammo to deal 150 points of damage, to approximately 1.6 ammo to deal 385 points of damage. That is one hell of an upgrade. In fact, when fully spooled, the Kohm will be doing 1039.5 damage per second, and with a magazine size of 245 and an ammo capacity of 960, it's definitely capable of keeping that momentum going. For a little while at least. Like, seriously, you'll still probably want to pack an ammo mutation for really long runs. Now, in addition to its spool-up mechanics, its bolts are also a little different from the standard shotgun pellet. First off, they're treated like projectiles which have a flight speed and flight arc, which can make aiming at longer distances a bit of a pain, especially when the Kohm is fully spooled up, as it has a very potent recoil. In addition, its bolts can also ricochet off of terrain and have a small amount of innate punch-through. With that aside, the rest of its supplemental stats are fairly mediocre, its critical chance sitting at 10% and its status chance sitting at 20%. But then again, with its damage output and unique mechanics, I guess you can't win them all. Now, speaking of not being able to win them all, can we talk... Okay, so the main reason I took a second look at the Kohm was because one of my friends was streaming and was going off about how amazing it was. So I figured that after all of its buffs, it was probably about time I revisited it. And after investing a couple forma into it, I have come to the conclusion that the Kohm is like a vagina. A lot of people are going to enjoy playing with it and find lots of entertainment from using it, and maybe even become erotically aroused when they watch it spray. However, I am not one of those people. And see, that's why I love the fact that there is so much variety in the world of Warframe. I can get my hands on a nice bow or sniper rifle with some extreme penetration. I mean, have you seen how long the Lanka is? Seriously, there is something for everyone. Remember the Phage? I don't even think I need to make a tentacle pun for that one, because seriously, that sucker is heavily armed. So while no one weapon or Warframe is gonna be able to please everyone, we can all agree that just because we don't enjoy a weapon doesn't mean that it doesn't have its place. Unless of course you're bisexual, then your little slutbag hoe face just plays with everything, don't you? You nasty. Pick a fucking side. I am totally kidding. I just love giving you bisexuals a hard time. Regardless, let's get back to the quick draw. So all in all, I think that the Kohm is pretty fantastic. While it's not my cup of tea, it's definitely got the upgrades it needed in order to make it viable. And with the recent addition of the Prime Shotgun-based damage mod, it's in a very good place. The only thing that I do have to say about it is that in order for it to perform optimally, you'll need to invest in some forma and possibly even mod out its innate D slot in order to make space for some more usable polarities. And while its bolt mechanic is a tad bit odd, I have found that it's something I've managed to get used to. So if you're fond of tearing through your enemies with an automatic shotgun, this one is definitely going to keep you coming back for more. So thank you all for watching another episode of The Quick Draw. Now, if you feel the urge for a little Warframe action, check out my recent rundowns on Volt and the Fairy King himself, Oberon. Now, be sure to do all the things that I ask you to do at the end of every one of these, and as always, stay tuned as I happily butcher the pronunciation of even more weapons here at A Gay Guy Plays. Seriously though, to my bisexuals out there, I am just trolling you guys. I know you guys get some grief too, but don't worry, I love you guys. Like, half the time.